Hey folks, it's Jang here from RCmania.com and Ultimate RC, and this is the video to accompany my review of the Hogs F-14 Tomcat. Now this is a pretty detailed craft for a very inexpensive all-foam aircraft. It is a officially licensed product. They actually went to the original designer of the full-scale craft to get the plans for it, and it turned out well. They really did get a lot of detail in here, even the iconic shape of the engine nacelles with that flat front and the round rear. The only thing is that the wings do not sweep forward and back like the real thing, and it doesn't use actual jets or even EDFs. It uses the traditional old pusher props like Hogs has used since their very first mainline aircraft product, the Aero Ace. What it lacks in realism, it should be able to make up for with steady, controllable flight. Now for the controller, nothing special here. Regular 2-channel setup with throttle on the left and steering on the right. It also has a single trim knob for your steering to make sure that you can fly straight without any control input, and like most Hogs brand products, the controller has built in a charger for the plane. Plug it in and it charges up. In the air, this plane looks great and flies pretty smooth. However, it does not respond quickly to control inputs. For instance, here I'm actually trying to tell it to turn right, and it's just not responding most of the time. It takes quite a while on occasion. It's not consistent. It'll take quite a while for it to respond to your command to turn. Here, yet again, you're looking at the craft being instructed to turn right all the way, fully. Still turning right, turning right, turning right, and finally it turns, almost when it's too late. It almost went over the fence. So you definitely need to have a very large area to fly this craft in, if nothing else, just because it's slow to respond to your controls. If it was faster to respond, it should be able to fly just fine, and as you can see, it doesn't require quite a lot of speed, even though it is a jet style where they have those wings spread out in the high lift configuration. It really allows this plane to get a lot of lift even when you're not going fast. Most of the time when you're flying, you will be flying at about 1/2 throttle. If you go up to full throttle, it will climb very steeply. Another thing that's important to note about this craft is that it is very sensitive to wind. Even a very slight breeze, a very, very slight breeze that you can barely feel, will actually affect how the craft flies. It'll fly differently into the wind than it does out of the wind. Of course, you always want to launch and land going into the wind where you have more lift and it'll be going slower, but the turning, especially with that slow response, is affected quite a lot. You're going to have a lot more trouble turning into the wind, especially when it decides not to listen to your commands. There again, you saw that it was turning left, and this whole time I'm actually telling it to turn right. There, it finally turned right. I didn't get it on camera, but we were able to get some takeoffs from the ground. The landing gear do work well. The front landing gear is propped up, so the nose of the craft is actually facing a little bit towards the sky when it's on the ground, and that helps to get it lots of lift so it can take off pretty quickly, actually. All in all, enjoyable to look at, enjoyable to fly when it does what you want it to do, but a little bit frustrating when it does not do what you want it to do. Definitely slow to respond to your command inputs. But of course, if you want to hear all that I have to say about this aircraft and others, you can check out the review, which is online right now at RCmania.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.